Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Alpha Dean and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video. So let's bring up the Fusion's event calendar, and the reason that I've pulled this up is just to showcase really that there is nothing going on in regards to this Fusion along the lines of tournaments and events. Right, this was the case for yesterday as well. However, for me, I was throwing my energy into the likes of the Gear Ascension tournament. Now, I have managed to complete that off in full, so today I've just got us free energy that is just sat here. So obviously we don't want that to be sat, we don't want it to be building up when we're doing those dailies and collecting those extra refill pots. We don't want our energy to be going above the 130 mark. We do want this to be accumulating all the time so that we can be efficient. So where should we actually be throwing this energy into then? Right, we've got a day where no tournaments, no events are actually active. Where should we put in the energy? So let's go to the tavern to showcase this. So we will go to the potion mixer, and if we take a look at your potions, right, if you are low on any of these potions, I would highly suggest that you focus on your potion keys. Okay, the reason that I'm suggesting that is because this is a mixed fusion and we are going to need the likes of, especially your spirit ones for this fusion. Your spirit ones, you are going to need a lot of these. So focus on this area. I know this isn't really ideal for me to be saying this today. Obviously it would have been ideal if I'd have done it on a day where the spirit keep were open. But as you can see, we have only got the force keep that's open today. I mean, this isn't going to help in regards to this fusion at all. However, we have got the Arcane Keep, and if we take another look back at the tavern, into your potions, if you have a look, my lesser arcanes are actually the ones that I need the most of. I don't really like these to go below 1,000. That's just where I'm at in the game. Obviously, if you're earlier game player, this is going to seem like a hell of a lot. But for me, it's just not. And the reason that I'm going through these lesser ones a lot more frequently now is because I have started to do these Broadmoor fusions. So not necessarily Broadmoor himself, but I have been building up these uncommon champions. So I've got 5 of these uncommons ready to fuse into the rare, and the reason that I'm doing that is for the upcoming champion chase. So these are worth 50 points each, and this is what I've been doing. I didn't used to bother with this, which is probably how I got my potions so high, but now I am doing this more and more. So yeah, a good place to be spending your energy today is going to be in your dungeon and in your Arcane Keep, trying to get some of these arcane potions. If you're in the same boat as me and you have been using a lot of the lesser ones, as you can see here, we do not get lessers from stage 20. Just remember this, I don't want you to be wasting energy into stage 20 if you are in need of your lesser potions. So yeah, for the most part you're not going to need these anyway. It is more for if you are just doing what I've started doing with the uncommon champions. So the majority of the time, stage 20 is going to be fine for you guys. So yeah, potion keep is a brilliant one for you to be doing today. If you have got loads and loads of potions, then another area that you could do today, which is going to be good value, is going to be your minnow. So chances are you've got champions that you need to be getting masteries for. So just use your energy to get masteries for here. Now, beyond that, what I would suggest that you do, if you've got no champions that you're really bothered about putting your masteries and whatnot on, or you've just already done that, and if you don't need potions, what I would suggest that you do is you try and min-max. So if you've got a dragon team and you are running a team and it's a full squad, try and take out one of your champions. So here, look, as you can see, there is a full squad in here and there's just one champion. Right, this champion is obviously a food champion. He's not somebody that is in there that's geared or anything like that. So just take out one champion, try and run this level with one less champion in there, and then that way, if you're able to succeed in this, don't do super weights as well, by the way. If you are doing this, if you are testing runs out to see if they're capable of doing it without certain aspects in your composition, then yeah, don't waste energy if you think that it may fail. But yeah, take out a champion, put in a food, and then see if you're able to do that as well. That way, the next time when you go to do it, when they're in lights of a tournament, especially if it's running alongside a champion training, you're able to double dip. So this is the area that I'd concentrate on days such as today, where you find yourself in a situation where there's no events or anything running. Just try and improve your account. So if there's a gear enhancement going on, which there is at the minute, switch up your builds. Switch up your builds on your champions, see if you can improve your builds. If there is, try it again. You know, go back into that mission again. Don't put your super raids on, and just attempt it again with your better build and see if you're able to do it with just one champion less than what you're currently using. So if that's a full man team, then try and do it with 4 champions. You know, if it fails, see why it's failing. You know, is it because, say, you had no reviver? Put a reviver in there. Is it because you've not got enough damage? Put some damage in there. Is it for the fact that, I don't know, they're just hitting too hard? Put in some sort of decreased attack. You know, this is the time where you should be experimenting with your stages, trying to improve them. It could even be a case that you want to not necessarily do it with food, but you just want to get a faster run. Put in extra damage. So these work out better for when you've got your turn attack tournaments. Just do stuff like that. But yeah, basically you want to be doing stuff today that you necessarily isn't efficient for you to be doing in other times of the game. So that'd be my advice for you guys, and what I'd also suggest as well, so if you can do all these, I mean, especially for the likes of your potion keeps and your minnow, I mean, actually let's concentrate on minnow. So minnow, if you can't do this with at least 3, so if you take out 2 champions, if you can't do this with 3 built champions, there's something seriously wrong. So you should be able to do this with at least 3 champions that are built and then 2 that you're wanting to level up. So in my case, I've got the cat that's built. He's my main one. I may have Maria in some gear actually, just looking. Let me find her. I don't want to say that there's no gear on her, and actually there were. Okay, she's not at 60, that's why. Okay, so maybe she's... Okay, so she's just got accessories. Nobody else, as you can see, he's got accessories. And nobody else has got gear on. Actually, there was one more champion. Where is he? Yeah, no gear, look. So none of these have got gear. A couple of them have got accessories. But if we just take one run... So the cat is the only one with any gear on. And I know that he can do this comfortably, but this is what you should be aiming for. You should be aiming for one person to be doing the run for you. So he's the one that's geared, he's the one that's at level 60, and then the rest of the time then, these champions are getting leveled up while you are getting the masteries for them. So this is the ideal situation. What I do is, as soon as I get a legendary champion that I want to build up, I throw them straight in minnow with somebody else. So the way that this works is, I've got obviously my main source of damage, which is the cat. He's absolutely brilliant for this. I have got Siegfried, but I think that the cat, he just brings that extra layer of survivability, you know, with his block damage that he's got on there. So if he was to come to a situation where he could die, that's going to prevent that from happening. But yeah, as you can see on this end screen, so we've just had Marius that's leveled up. Brilliant. Now, okay, all of these are actually maxed on their masteries. However, this isn't really important anyway. The thing that I wanted to showcase is that obviously only one champion gets the masteries. So mastery scrolls even. So the scrolls have gone to Edward. He's the only one that can get them, as the others are maxed. However, all the other champions are leveling up at the same time as well. So the amount of XP that you get from this is set, and it splits along however many champions it is that you've got in here. So if you can run this with 5 champions, then only one of them's at 60, then the XP is going to get split. So if it's, I don't know, say 100, it's going to get split 5 ways, so it'll be 20, 20, 20. You know, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20 for each one of them. Right? This 20 then gets lost because he's already at max level. So it doesn't go 40 to 1 and split like that. This still gets lost, if you see what I mean there. So if you have 2 of these in this at max level, then you'd only be gaining 60 experience, because this would be 20, 40 experience lost. I hope that that makes sense. That's probably the best that I can explain it. I did break it down into like easy numbers, but yeah, that's the way that this works, and this is what you should be aiming for. If you need to have in 3 champions, then do 3 champions that are built. You know? I mean, now that we've got the free gear removal as well, you could build them all, to be fair, but it's just a lot of messing about. But yeah, aim for something like this. I think I used to run a reviver as well at the side of it, and the reviver that I used to use was Syl. She's just great for it because she does give you your heal, and she does bring along the revive as well for if your damage dealer goes down. So if you've not got somebody with a little bit of survive in there, so the cat is like quite unique for that, but there is loads and loads of damage dealers that you'd be able to do this with alongside a reviver. And if you need an extra damage dealer as well, just throw them in, but at least you've got 2 other champions then that can be leveling up alongside them. So yeah, masteries are always going to be an area of the game where you're going to need to do. The quicker that you can do this, the more efficient that it's going to be for you in regards to doing these. Now it does take a lot longer, obviously, if you're running up 4 champions to build the masteries than what it would do if you was just doing 1. However, you're only gaining the XP. So if you was to just run the cat and Edward, say, and you put no other champions in here, 50% of that XP would be lost. So I've just said that these is divided, so if it were 100 XP, it'd be 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. If you was only running 2 champions, so let's just use the cat and Marius for an example. So if you was only just running these 2 champions, then it'd be 50% XP here, lost, and then 50 XP for Marius. So yeah, moving on from there then. Also, this applies as well for any other dungeon, so any other dungeon that you're doing, even in potion keeps. So if you can just get that done with a 1-person team, so in fact I don't want to run 16, I have just mentioned this, I do need the lessers, so I will run 14, but just throw in whatever champions that you can get it done with. So if you're still running a 5-man team on here, obviously try and get that knocked down, so try and get it knocked down to a 4-man, see if you can do it with a 4-man. If you can do it with a 4-man, great. If you're doing it easily, do it with a 3-man. You know, just try and improve areas of the game which you're not putting to your full advantage, basically, that you're not getting the most value out of. Just try and improve those areas of the game. As you can see here, I am just using my cat, so I'm getting the level done. However, like I've just said on that Minotaur, how the XP is divided between your 5 champions. So if these are all fully leveled at 60, you're going to get no XP from this. None of these champions are going to get leveled up. Whereas now, I've just got 1 champion in there that is max level, and they're going to need to be to tackle this this stage. I wouldn't recommend putting in a champion that you're still building, especially if they've got mediocre gear. My cat has got good gear on, by the way. I do use him in PvP, so that's how I know that he's able to do this. But it does just level these champions up again. As you can see, these are leveling up. My cat obviously isn't because he's at max level. So this goes for any area of the game. Like I said, these are probably the 2 areas where you can focus on all the time. There isn't actually any dungeons going on at the minute and tournaments like I've stated, so I'm not really going to run these. However, this does apply for these areas of the game as well. So if you've got an Ice Golem team that you've run on stage 20 and you're running it with a full composition, so if you're running this with a full team of 5 people, try and switch it down until you get to the point where you can just 1-man it. So it doesn't have to be a 1-man straight away, and to be fair, I probably wouldn't recommend that. I would recommend that you slowly go down, so you use 3 champions to start with to see if you can get it done. If you can, take out another one, see if you can do it with them, and then find out what's missing in that comp as to why you're dying. So yeah, that is going to be it for the video, guys. That's what I'd recommend that you guys do with your energy today. I would not recommend that you just let this build up. So I wouldn't have this above 130. Yes, it's going to be a little extra energy for you to throw into the dragon tomorrow, but it's not going to be that beneficial to your account. It's probably hindering your account more than what it's helping it. So I hope that you found this video useful, guys. Give it a thumbs up if you have, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next one.